Hey everyone, welcome back to the His&Hers the Truth podcast.
Yes.
And this time we are going live as promised. Guys, we're going to obviously react to your guys' comments and questions tonight. We had a guest scheduled, but unfortunately we had to reschedule him.
Yes.
He got busy, but no worries. We'll definitely bring him back on the show.
Yes.
Looking forward to doing that, that live for you guys. Because like I said, I think he would have some really good advice and insight to give to everyone. Okay. But guys, before we get into that, right, a few notifications. As you guys know, obviously, it's almost coming to the end of 2023. It's freaking crazy. So in 2024, moving forward, like I said, we're going to continue pushing out, obviously, Asian topics, Asian culture type of content. I know this is something I think that is getting well received. I noticed the uptick in our video views recently, honey, and then also our subscriptions. So thank you so much, you guys, for supporting the channel. Of course, guys, if you guys would love to support the channel, we do have some cash apps that you guys, if you guys mind, donate to the channel. We're going to try to get, like I said, better cameras, better mics, whatever you guys are looking for to increase the quality of the show. Guys, we're still kind of a small time show. We're still, building it as we're going. So guys, any advice or recommendations would be appreciated.
Or, hey, if you want to be a guest on our show and live, and if you're living pretty far and you want to do the video thing on camera, with us, FaceTime, that'd be great. I mean, we just love your support. Right now algorithm is going up. I know that we're still being suppressed. But at the same time, I've noticed you guys are trying to push it forward. But you know what? We need your love and support, of us. So, hey, let's push it forward and keep going. They say there's a milestone. It starts for the little pebbles at a time before you roll into the bigger things. So let's support one another.
Yeah, 100%.
Show us the love.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the world is ready for the truth. I think we've been suppressing the truth for so long that I think people are yearning for it. Now, that being said, obviously, there's still the matrix is out there trying to suppress it. So guys, like we always say, right, give us a huge thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, right? Turn on your notification bell. And of course, tonight, right, specifically, we want to literally have you guys share your comments and questions to us. So please do that. And of course, continue spreading this truth out there, especially for our Asian brothers and Asian sisters as well, too. But like I said, one of the reasons why we're trying to push this info out is to help our Asian brothers because, like we said, I'm going to repeat it once again. Obviously, Asian brothers are the least desired on dating apps.
Yes.
We had, our suicide to self-deletion, I apologize, rates have increased since COVID, and it continues to increase. And I know, like I said, I believe 100% of my heart that it's directly tied in with how our dating, our outcomes, obviously, our values, right? When it comes to pursuing the truth and the fact that we were lied to, you can call it lied to. We've been obviously taught at a young age from our family, from our culture to do these things that worked under that old system. But no longer is it working in the current modern day and age. And so, if we can wake up as many Asian brothers as we can and realize that, hey, this is the reality, and hopefully they can help themselves improve their values and get better results and have less of those issues, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's a change we want to make, and that's a change we want to, just support you guys up there. You're watching Asian brothers out there. Hey, Asian sisters out there, don't be hating on your Asian brothers because you know what? They do need that love and support. And, hey, let's work together. And if you guys are star or actress that are Asian influence or, you're doing well, why don't you reach out to them and let's support one another.
Yeah, before we get into the comments, let's talk about that real quick because I really think there is a tie-in connection with how the male in a certain society is going to affect the female, right? Like in terms of the different genders in each society, right? You've seen it. Like I said, I hate continue making reference or comparisons to this this culture ethnicity. But if you look within the Black community, how obviously the women are viewed and how that has affected obviously their family structure, right? They have one of the lowest nuclear family percentages. And obviously there's a huge part of it is obviously social media, this feminism, right? All this new ideology. But guys, if we don't correct it within the Asian community, I 100% believe that at least in the Western Asian community, right? If you're talking about America, UK, Australia, all those things, right? But as you guys know, and that this channel has been telling you, it's starting to spread worldwide, regardless if you're
where you are.
in Asia or not, right? But my point is that it's going to lead down to that path as well too, because think about it, we're very similar. Asian men is very similar to black women within culture. We are perceived as the lower valued,
Or less desirable.
100%, right?
So
And so if we're less desired, then that means our Asian sisters are going to be dating, marrying outside the race. And the stats show it. The stats are increasing every year, every generation, from Gen X, our generation, honey, to millennials, and now to Gen Z. That percentage of Asian sisters marrying outside of their race has increased.
and then you guys got to ask why. Why is it that we're less desirable? Well, you got to up your game,
Yeah.
Like anything, it's just not your traits, it's attitude, all that other stuff. Like, it's not where, okay, well, I'm Asian, that's why they don't like me, or I'm black, or they don't like me. No, this is your traits, how you act, how you carry yourself, how you dress, all that,
Yeah. The world is becoming smaller. Women are obviously empowered. Totally fine. All those things should be what it should be, right? And we're not going back. This is the other thing too, right? We're not going back. So moving forward, you have to adapt to what this modern society, modern culture is. And what's going to happen is women are going to be women by nature, and they're going to choose the best option. And this is what compounds, and this is what kind of conflates the problem, right? Is because Asian women have one of the highest values, if not the highest values, in terms of wanting from the opposite gender, right? Right, on dating apps, it proves it, right? On even just kind of just, you guys know this from just a common sense standpoint, right? Asian women are typically thinner. They come off as the most feminine, right? And if you look at it from like even like a old world standpoint, they're typically more traditional, right? Cook, clean, keep themselves in shape, dress up nice, all those things that a female's value is high. So they're going to have all the options in this day and age with social media, people DMing them. Everyone's got a phone, everyone's got access to it. And if your values are low as an Asian man, why are they going to choose you? Right? So it's only like I said, like my wife said, stop making excuses for herself. Stop saying that they're self-hating or that, they hate Asian guys, or that, Asian guys are freaking, like obviously manipulative, right? Or that they're like, quit making every excuse, guys. It just comes down to our values. Our values are not high enough for women in general, not just our Asian sisters, as looking at us as a first option,
so
right?
Make some positive change. I mean, like they always said, mindset reset. Let's reset that mind. Think differently, and be positive. So then you get better. And if you don't reset that mind, and you're stuck in your old ways, well, guess what? I'm sorry to say, you're gonna be joining the single, like men or women who gonna be living with a cat and dog and be single. Be by yourself and alone. And if that's what you want to feel like, be alone, then that's your prerogative, because you have your own life choice. But if you want someone and you want to make a legacy, you want to fulfill that truth, which is kids, and meet someone, then you need to change. Make positive changes.
Last thing I'll ask, for all my Asian brothers out there that are top tier, high value men, whatever you want to call it, right? Ready to pursue the truth. Obviously, one, quick reminder, right? Make sure that you are on the purpose of the truth, right? Have that mindset. Hopefully this channel reaches out to you, because like I said, there's a lot of high value guys out there that don't understand the truth, right? Think about it like celebrities, right? They've been indoctrinated to believe these ideologies. And so even though they're like a top tier guy, they're told to pedestalize women. They're told to like, oh, we're equal, 50-50, right? And as you guys know, that's not the case. Men and women are 50-50 in the sense that you both bring value to the table, but those values are different. And so to my Asian brothers who are high value, top tier men, learn and realize that the purpose is the key as well too, because you can be this high value guy, but you're going to get used, you're going to get abused, right? You guys look at celebrities that are getting freaking, divorced. You look at celebrities that are getting used by women, right? Because they think, oh, well, I'm just going to go marry or date some hot chick. And then she's going to use you for your money. She's not going to, you don't realize what she's supposed to bring back for you in return. You also don't realize that the purpose that you need to use the values for. And so you're going to go waste your values, right? Party, do all these stupid things when it's supposed to be for a nuclear family and to develop obviously kids and build this family, right? So understand that. And then hopefully, as a community, as an Asian community, we can grow, we can strength, we can get stronger that way, right? And then of course that will give us a better perception around the world, right? Because like guys, the Asian male image is not good, especially in the Western society. But even if you look at it from like an Asian society, I mean, other countries don't look at Asian countries in general as positive. Right? They say, oh, yeah, our women are hot, right? And, oh, yeah, passport bros, let's go over there, and freaking fuck their women. Excuse my French, right? But they don't look at the Asian male as anything, as a respected figure in the world, right? Except for maybe like, oh, well, there's so many of them that they might, go to war with us and they might kill us. But guys, that's not the image. That's not the image that we want to have, right? Hence why we don't have positive role models in society, right? Or in movies, that type of stuff, right? So guys, like, I'm asking everyone, like, maybe my voice won't reach out to them, but we're talking like actors like Samu Liu or freaking Harry Wong or Shohei Ohtani, like all these guys, man. If somehow they can get the truth message, whether it's from our channel or from channels like Fresh and Fit or from channels like, Rolo Tomasi, whatever, right? Learn women's nature, learn hypergamy, so that way it can protect them from having bad outcomes as high value men. Hey, we've done our part, right?
Okay, well, we've got a live stream for you coming up, with the His and Hers. So we're going to react
let's
to
do the comments and questions. Yeah, let's go.
Let's do this. Okay, in a few minutes, of course. You know how that goes.
Don't sweat it, guys. We'll be.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay, so I'll read it, honey, and then you can react to it very first, right? So at Ron PX2SV commented, says, I think Chang Nation is saying all else being equal, same income, same height, same attractiveness, etc., between Asian men and white men, these Lus will still pick the white guy over the Asian guy simply because they don't date Asian guys. This is also the same mentality with white women and how they also don't date Asian men, even if they made the same income, height, attractiveness, etc., compared to white men. There are plenty of YouTube videos where YouTubers went out to interview random women and asked them if they would date Asian men, and just about all of them all said no, even if they did make income, height, etc. It's the Western mentality brought on by decades of negative image towards Asian men, comedians making the same old tired negative stereotypes, lack of representation in movies and TV that rarely ever have attractive Asian men as lead characters with white women as their romantic partners, etc. With the lack of representation, all that Western women can go on is what they see, or in this case, never see, and what they hear about Asian men, which are just negative stereotypes and nothing to show on TV or movies that prove these stereotypes wrong. Okay, honey, what do you think about at Ron's initial statement?
Well, I see that, I mean, with the movies and everything, they always make us Asian stereotype as being dorky looking, goofy, and if he's doing martial arts, they get that goofy look, like it's just, they don't
well, certain martial artists perpetuated that. Jackie Chan, for example. That's why I don't really respect Jackie Chan, for example. I think he did a lot to hurt the Asian male stereotype, Oh, excuse me. Okay, so sorry guys, we just had a little accident, but not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, at Ron, we have to argue the majority, right? Not the exception to the rule. The world works on the average. The world works on the majority, right? The world does not work on exceptions to the rule, right? For example, right? If you walk by a lion all the time, right? Like let's say you had a village and every villager walked next to the lion all the time, the chances of that lion attacking and killing you is going to be high. Right? You can't use the exception of, well, this one time the villager walked by the lion and he didn't attack, right? Like you're going to say that's stupid. Like we know the lion on average is going to attack us and kill us, right? So just like, unfortunately, the negative stereotypes of our Asian brothers, because the majority of us aren't high value, right? We talked about averages, height, where typically the lower height, right? Who knows about, penis size, but studies show, right? If the stats were truthful, the studies show that Asian men typically are on the lower side of penis size as well, too, right? And then obviously you just look at the stereotypical image of the Asian man, little nerdy, little shy,
yeah, but
right?
That's the image they sort of in a way created for themselves. Like if you change that,
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
About, like, say, African men, or they used to be a stereotype to say, hey, oh my God, they're always troublemaker. But then they correct themselves a little bit. Now they're NBA players, they're a singer, they're not perceiving themselves as so much. It's just like it gets a little bit
guys.
So if we can change that, if we can change ourselves to be not goofy looking, dress better.
Let me correct you real quick, just because I don't want to give our viewers the wrong. The problem with a criminal aspect, and this has been shown in like studies, women actually receive favorably a criminal mindset, right? So that's the problem. Like it actually works against us as Asian men playing the safe beta, playing the safe, like, oh, I'm like, nice and I'm not going to cause trouble. Because the thing about women is they still desire protection. They still desire someone that could freaking defend them, right? And so if you're unfortunately a criminal, or like you show that you can defeat people, right, whether legally or not legally, like we talked about all the time. There's that guy that came out of jail and he looks super hot, right? And women don't freaking care. Yeah. Right?
I'm not saying that part. I'm saying even though they act, but it's like they need to play the role of toughness. Like, when they play the martial arts, don't be like so goofy and
the point is our stereotypes and our culture unfortunately influenced our stereotypes, is that it influenced us to be all the values low of what women are looking for. Yeah. The only value that Asian culture pushed on Asian men is finance. But women don't give a shit about where you got your finance. This is why women will date freaking damn drug lords. This is the reason why women will date freaking dictators, right? This is women will date freaking mass murderers. They don't care where you got the money from. They care that you can defend, protect them, and provide for them, right? And so the problem with Asian men is we've been told and taught to live this very, unfortunately, safe lifestyle. And so what? Anyways,
I would care if you're a drug lord.
Well, women who are
talking more of the other ones.
Women who are more traditional will do so. But in general, like this, so this gets back to our topic. Okay. In general, at Ron, the problem is Asian men are still viewed as low value. So you can talk about how maybe the media did this, but like my wife said, we did this to ourselves. No one's telling us that we can't go work out, get in shape, be more outspoken, learn how to talk, learn how to dress, right? Go learn how to fight. Go do these things that would make our value perceived more higher to the opposite sex, right? Okay, keep going. Same viewer at Ron says, I forgot to add that there's a YouTube channel called Soak119, which is Penn State's sociology professor who records his classes, and one of his older videos talks about this topic on Asian men being the least desired by women, including Asian women. One of the points he brought up was a study about how levels of income influences dating opportunities, and that Asian men would need to make approximately $245,000 more than a white man's annual income just to be able to have any chance at a woman even considering to date them. You want to react to that? Because we actually reacted to that video. Yeah. You guys watch our library. We actually did react to that video, and we do know about that professor. But this is the problem. In that class, he pulled aside an Asian dude and a white guy. And guys, as much as maybe we're indoctrinated to believe that the white or maybe another ethnicity male is better looking or whatever, what was the first thing you noticed? That Asian dude was shorter than the white guy. Right? So right there already, the commanding presence. I guarantee you, if they had found a shorter white dude and a taller Asian guy, that table would have been reversed a little bit. Height, guys, we have to live in reality. Height is looked at by women as a favorable characteristic.
That's the truth.
Right? So if they're going to look at two men, and that's why at Ron, you're saying what you're saying in terms of all else being equal, I believe it to a certain extent, but once again, we're not equal yet. The average is not equal. If you could tell me that the average Asian dude is the same height as the average white guy, then maybe we can have an argument here, right? If you said that, the average Asian dude has the same freaking like social status, like in terms of, fame and all that other stuff, like the average, just everything, right? But we're not there yet. Unfortunately, we came from a poor country. Food was scarce, right? I get it. We can make all excuses for the world for us. Why we're smaller, why we're shorter, right? Why we didn't freaking emphasize things like sports or social status, right? Our culture told us to stay in place, don't be outspoken, right? communistic, obviously, society, right? In a communist society, you're not going to be told to be an individual, right? You're told to be freaking a part of a group.
Or else everyone.
Yeah. So you're not going to stand out. You're not going to try to talk out. So I get whatever excuses we make for it. But the reality is we're not there yet as Asian men. Hey, guys, 2024, moving forward. Hopefully we get there.
Changes.
Yep. All right. Let's get next one. We have a lot of comments and questions I know to get through. So. All right. So at Ron again. I would have respectively disagree with your statement that if the Asian interviewer had been attractive, then these girls would not have said they wouldn't date Asian men. White girls and even a lot of Asian girls don't date Asian men because they are Asian, plain and simple. It's the Asian race that they don't date Asian men, regardless of their attractiveness. Also, the interviewer didn't ask these girls if they would date him. He asked them who they would not date. I agree that these girls saying Asian is an easy target and would have no consequence for saying that compared to any other race. But they could just as easily have said they would consider dating any race if they were attractive. This is to say that even if there are Asian men who are attractive, these girls still wouldn't date them simply because they are Asian. It's very sad to see how Western society deems it okay to be openly racially prejudiced against Asian men, and even Smara laughed that they say that they don't date Asian men. I'll let you go first as always, honey. What do you think about at Ron's comment?
Yeah, I mean, I think when he was seeing that video, when he see the girls giggling and everything, he feels like, yeah, they're he's thinking like, okay, the interviewer guy, was Asian and he is good looking, but what he's trying to say is no matter what the, compared to the white guy, they're still not, not going to pick an Asian guy, but I don't really agree with him. I think,
Yeah, I mean, we've done other videos at Ron, and I think you need to kind of watch the totality. Like once again, we got to talk about averages and instead of exception to the norm. Mm-hmm. And we've done videos. I can't remember that channel, but he was an Australian Asian guy. Remember? And he would go around asking what you would date, and those women received him super positively. They said, yeah, no, for sure we would date Asian guys, right? Because he was tall and good looking. Right? Yep. Now, I do agree with you on this, Ron. Mm-hmm. This is the one thing I do agree with you, which is, yes, we do deem as a society that we can openly make fun of Asian people, right? And openly say that we don't date Asian men, and somehow it doesn't come off as being racist.
Yeah, you don't
right?
see that comment coming down.
Fresh and Fit, for example, had a huge, remember this huge freaking thing where they said they don't date freaking black women, or at least they were joking,
and it came viral,
and it became viral, and it was like, they don't date black women because of black women's traits, right? But it was deemed racist. Whereas you see all the time, you're 100% right. All the time you see on these channels, women will say, "Oh, Asian men, I don't date Asian men. Don't date Asian men." But guys, once again, neither one is racist. What it is unfortunately, like I keep referring back to, like I said, black women and Asian men, we compare very similarly because we're both low value in our gender. Black women are low value in women's values, right? Overweight, loud, obnoxious, right? Boss babe attitude, right? Not feminine. Asian men, too feminine, small, right? Timid, right? Not big, not strong. So we have to stop looking at it from a race thing. Now, unfortunately, we conflate it with race because obviously the average black woman is this way and the average Asian man is this way.
And that's why you get that stereotype.
Exactly. But the thing is, both groups have a say and both groups can change how they are. Black women can lose weight. Right? Before 1960, I think there was a study before like 1960, 1950, black women were 125 pounds. Now they're 186 pounds. Who did that to them? No one injected them with food. They did that to themselves. Right? Before freaking, obviously, like all my nieces, my nephews now, or cousins, they're all over 6 foot tall. Because they grow up here, they eat food, they're all getting bigger, they work out, they play sports. I'm sure my sons, because they all play sports, work out, they're way more outgoing than your average Asian kid, right? They have a bunch of friends, they freaking hang out, they talk to girls, even at their age. I'm guarantee you, well, I'm crossing my fingers, but I'm hoping my sons are going to be over 6 feet tall, right? So we can do something about it.
You can make a change.
Right? You can make a change. Okay.
next one.
Next one, same viewer. An Asian man. Hey, by the way, at Ron PX2SV, thank you for all the comments. Love reacting to it. Okay. An Asian man can be over 6 feet tall, make $1 million a year, attractive, six-pack abs, etc., but that still will not make him attractive to Western women. You know how I can say this to be true? Because Western women are racially prejudiced against Asian men, which was brought on by negative stereotypes from media and guy from other races bad-mouthing against Asian men toward their women to eliminate Asian men as potential competition in the dating market. Women in online dating apps won't even see Asian men's profiles because Western women can filter out men's profiles by race. So you can be the 1% super Asian chat, but his profile will never reach Western women because they have filtered out all Asian men's profiles. Okay. There's a lot in there, and at Ron, I think you need to. Well, anyways, I'll let my wife react first, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts and advice. So what do you think about that last comment, honey? He's like saying like you can have this Giga
Money,
Chang, right?
yeah.
Giga Chang, 6 foot tall, six-pack abs and everything like that, and you're still not going to get because at Ron's excuse is always this social media perception of the Asian man. What do you think about that?
Think about it. If the Asian man, I don't know, say he is 6 feet tall, but how did he carry himself? Was he shy? Was he intimidated?
He's not even talking about it. He like at Ron has already made up his mind that no matter what he does, he's not going to get the outcome.
Because I think about it. Okay, Shohei Ohtani, Asian man, pure Asian man, right? But
yeah, women are like throwing themselves at Shohei Ohtani right now.
So think about it. If Shohei was, I don't care. He makes money. He's got women throwing at himself, at him and everything else. But think about it. If he was intimidated, he acts shy, acts so goofy and nerdy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get all the women, like the woman he wants. Like maybe supermodel that he loves won't go after because it's his trait. It's his trait. It's not because he's Shohei. He's got the fame. Yeah. He's got the clout. He's got the money, right? But what we're trying to say is this trait.
At the end of the day, we can't keep talking about exceptions. What my wife is talking about is, yes, even a Giga Chad like Shohei Ohtani or some of these, Asian actors or whatever, there's still going to be women that turn them down. I get that, guys. I get that, honey. But the point is, the majority of women still want you,
well, they're gonna
right? That's my point. So just because you're freaking George Clooney doesn't mean every single woman wants you. There's still going to be some women that are going to be like, I don't date white guys. Right? There's women that say that out there. They only date black dudes or they only date Hispanic guys, right? I'm sure there's some women out there that says that I only date Asian guys. There was this one huge OnlyFans, Prawn Star, TikToker, whoever, Twitch streamer that says she only dates Asian dudes, and she posted her Asian boyfriend on her, and everyone was hating on her, right? But my point is, there's always exceptions to the rule. That doesn't make it the rule. So at Ron, I will tell you this, my brother. Go increase your values. Go work out. You go get that six-pack. You go make 6 figures a year. You learn some Riz. You learn some game. And you go try to put yourself out there with some women. And I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you, your options are going to be way better than it is now. I think, obviously, hey, send in a comment. But I think you're talking from a low-value man standpoint. And you're making every excuse for yourself as a low-value man on why you're not having options. And so you're just saying, well, I'm not, everyone's already hating, so I'm not going to even try. That's BS, my brother. You are the perfect person that I'm trying to reach out to and understand that if you make these changes with your life, go get a fitness coach, go get a dating coach, go get a freaking personal hygiene and fashion coach, right? Learn. Talk about it. Go get social circles that will improve your connections and your thing. And I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you, your results are going to get better. Now, will you get options with every woman? Like I said, of course not. There's going to be some women.
Like you no matter what.
Let's, for example, at Ron, let's say you're under 6 feet. You're 100% correct. I don't disagree with you. Their dating apps are going to be, unfortunately, very hard because a lot of women filter out 6 feet tall only, right? But my point is, you're still going to get way better options if you do the things correctly that you're going to do. Okay? All right.
Oh, at Ron.
All right. Let's go through all these Rons. Hey, at Ron, hey, like I said, keep them coming. Nope, no hating on these. Okay, so actually, OkCupid has done several studies in online dating preference going back to 2013, 20, and 22. The results show things haven't really changed a whole lot. Women of all races still prefer white men. bam, bam, with the exception of black women. Bam, bam, which they prefer black men, obviously, followed by Hispanic men at close second, most preferred. Then it drops considerably where black men and Asian men are the least preferred. The latest study shows it's more or less the same. Now it was as in 2013. People who use stereotypes are a reflection of their ignorance. What do you think, honey?
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's not just ignorance, but it just shows that some of them don't change. They don't change, and like I said, it's their traits. And
Well,
everything.
he's saying
Yeah.
that the people that don't are that aren't attracted to black men or Asian men
Yeah.
because of these stereotypes
Yeah.
are ignorant.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't think they're ignorant. I just don't think that the certain ways of your traits that you're carrying yourself is
Yeah.
positive. Just say that.
Guys,
You know.
people, humans work on stereotypes, right? If you're in the world and you want the best options for yourself, right? Why would you try to go find that needle in a haystack? You're going to say, okay, hey, what is going to give me my best chances of getting the best result that I want, right? If I know there's a pool of women who are thin, feminine,
You'll lean
hot,
Yeah.
right? Traditional, cook, clean, right? Be a good mom. Why would I go to another group that's overweight, right? Freaking aggressive, not feminine, don't know how to cook and clean, right? Like I said, it's back to that lion analogy. Why would I walk by the lion if I know my chances of getting mauled is high, right? And so just like women, just like men, we're gonna go towards the thing that's gonna give us
That
the
you
best
want.
value.
Yeah.
Right. And so if black men have lower values because of, like my wife said earlier, even though I feel it's not as detrimental as the Asian stereotypes, right? But some of them won't go to a black guy because of the criminality aspect. Some won't go to because of that ghetto aspect, right? It is what it is, right? And then some cultures are just, they don't like the black culture stereotypes. It is what it is. It's the reality, guys. Just like you can talk about Asian men, right? It's like, oh, you're gonna be too controlling. You want to be too much of a patriarch, right?
Yeah.
There's things about Asian men's culture that a lot of modern day women won't find attractive.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they go to a traditional, they're gonna right. What is the traditional stereotypes of Asian men? Oh, they're gonna want you to stay at home, right? Just have kids, cook and clean, right?
Don't want you to dress up nice.
Yeah, don't go. I'm not gonna be able to go hang out with my friends, right?
Yep.
Those are the stereotypes, and modern women nowadays don't like that. So once again, at Ron, my brother, like you gotta learn the truth. You gotta learn the nature of human beings, right?
Yep.
This is what people want. You give people what they want, you will have success, right? But I get it. You've been lied to your whole life that this was the way you're supposed to be. So I can get it. I imagine all my Asian brothers. I understand you guys because I grew up in that same culture. I grew up with that same teaching,
You
right?
have to get out
Yeah,
of it.
be yourself, right?
it.
Like
Break
become
free.
a doctor, become an engineer, become a lawyer, right? Be a good son, be a good kid, stay with the family, right? Be nice, be quiet. Don't step out, right? Don't freaking talk out of turn, right? Speak only when you're spoken to. All those things, guys, it makes us timid, low value men, unfortunately, right? I had to realize that. Luckily for me, like I told you guys, we'll keep going, but luckily for me, I was able to break that stereotype. And a huge part of it, guys, was because I became a bodybuilder. I'm telling you guys, that first value of fitness for a man is so important. Get your ass in the gym. Go work out. That's going to change your life dramatically, okay? Yep. All right, at Motive 583. It's true. A white man is generally considered a come up to every race around the world. Every other man in other races either needs to be relatively exceptional to other men or stick to the niche culture race that finds him attractive. And he needs to work harder and be more accomplished and better looking than a white man would have to be to get the same woman. White media has brainwashed women around the world into finding them attractive while making other races look bad by promoting negative stereotypes. Hollywood isn't real, but many people believe it is. All right, what do you think about at Motive 583's comment?
I mean, it's what are you saying, that media and stuff?
Once again,
does
this
show that they are a part of that negativity put upon Asian men. Yes, and so with that stereotype, yes, they are brainwashed by social media. By right now, if you're looking, out there, even just regular, And so if you go up and ask other races, other women, right, they will bring that. Oh, yeah, they're just too nice. Oh, yeah, they're too this. Or, you know what I mean? Like, they're not outspoken, all that stuff. Yes, most Asian men are providers. I would not say they're not. Most of them are providers, but they don't come out like, oh my God, dress well, take care of themselves, polished. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they don't they take care of the things at home, but they don't seem to show the careness towards their wife as much, and having her look good, this, and you know what I mean, like,
no, what my
Western men be like, oh yeah, honey, let's go out, let's dress up once in a while, you know what I mean? They don't really do that. It's like, okay, you put a ring on your finger, now you just do the womanly chore, but they don't seem to.
Yeah. What my wife is trying to put, like, it descriptively, but I'll put it plainly simple, right? I'll put it as plain and simple for my brothers out there, is that we have the concept, the term, right? Alpha fucks and beta bucks, right? Unfortunately, Asian men for the longest time, have been trained to be beta bucks. Right? We've been told and trained that, hey, if you're just a good provider, as long as that you bring that to the table,
you'll be fine.
And you'll be fine, right? And for a certain period, it worked underneath that Asian cultural matrix, right? Because women were controlled, say, hey, you can't do this, you can only do this. But that structure is no longer here, right?
Non-existent right now,
right?
in our modern time.
And so both the Asian woman and the Asian man has been thrown into this new reality, right? And you can see what's happening. The Asian woman, of course, her reality is great now, right? Because all those social cultures of learning to be traditional, feminine, cook and clean, no.
Somewhat.
Let me finish. Right? All those traditional teachings of learning how to cook and clean, be feminine, clean, right? Be a good housewife. That's great for this reality, right? Because now you're the highest value woman in this new reality, right? Because black women were told to be boss babes. White women are told to be boss babes, right? All these Western modernized women were told to be boss babes. And now, bam, you're the Asian female. It's like introducing a freaking brand new Ferrari coming out of nowhere, right? Like all these cars are freaking crappy ass.
Yeah, but most of those modern Asian women, if we know, aren't like that. They're
now my point. You're right. You're right. The problem now is it's starting to infect our Asian women as well. But my point is, for the longest time, this is why Asian women were so the highest, and they still are the highest desired on dating apps. Because, like I said, we were controlled by this social matrix, and now when we were released into it, right, and now we have this globalized sexual market, and everyone's accessible to everyone, it's like, oh my God, I just hit the damn jackpot. I found this whole race of women who have all these traditional values. So which women are, like I said, guys, people are not stupid. Humans are not stupid. Humans are going to go to what best values. I don't care how many matrices, how much indoctrination you have. Your natural instinct is going to go to what the best values for the truth is, right? And so women naturally go to gravitate towards that, right? They want tall. They want strong. They want freaking handsome, right? These are things that are going to give them good kids, good offspring. Right. And so I bring that up because that leads me to your comment at Moto583. The reason why white men are still looked at as the most favorable, because bam, they're still the most tallest, right? On average, they're the tallest ethnicity still, right? And if you look at it from a history standpoint, who colonized everybody? Who won all the damn freaking wars? Right? Women want the conquerors. Just like the lion that defeats the other lion, he gets to sleep with all the freaking lionesses. Who's going to freaking get the best outcome? The winner, right? Who's the best athlete? Who's the best actor? It doesn't matter. Who's the winner is what women chooses. And throughout history, white men have been the winners. Hate it or love it, I don't give a damn. That's the fucking reality. So get over it, right? Now you're in a globalized sexual market. Now you have all the freedom. Now you have the truth on your side. Now you know the reality. I've just told you the reality.
So level up.
Be the winner now. Level your ass up and be the winner. When you become the winner, the prize will be there.
Yep.
Women are gonna sit there and wait for the winner. Okay. You want to be that? Then be the winner, right?
Go to the next one, honey.
All right. Oh, real quick while she's making that change too, guys. If you're the winner and now you control the media, you control the things, right? You control access, right? Like you're gonna propagate your culture. I'm sorry, but as an Asian man, as a black man, if you were the winner, why would you promote another ethnicity? How can you blame white men to promote themselves in their social media, right? In their freaking markets that they created.
Stop.
Right? You trying to tell me that the Asian men that are in like Hong Kong cinema or like Korea cinema, they're not going to try to make themselves look better in those cinema. Why would you put yourself down in your own freaking damn social platform? Right? So get over it, man. They won. We have a chance to win now.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. At Tartarus 500. It's probably true. Less people are afraid of getting hate if they say they don't find Asian men attractive. Other races, especially black and especially black men, would be more likely to speak up and have more people support them. What do you think about that, honey?
Well, yeah. I mean, people, if you mention black this, black that, I don't like this, yeah, you would see they're going to be coming at you, putting on, attacking you on your feed, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But you see like people joking around, even on Simpsons. Remember they were making fun of Asian people and doing this and stuff. You don't see anybody maybe writing to them or making comments, or you see on YouTube people are writing things, that are interviewing saying, oh yeah, we don't like this, we don't prefer, Asian men and this or that because of this and that. You don't see people like writing on there, hey, that's hate, you shouldn't do that or this, because no one is backing them up.
Yeah.
And that is why there is no change. Like you have Asian men who are actors, or women that are actresses. They're being stabbed. Like it literally had to take what? Remember when we had the COVID for them to attack literally publicly? But we've been attacked long before this, but no one said anything. Like we'll say things, but no one is backing. So when you don't have people backing in the community as an Asian, we're a large community. There's Filipinos or whatever else.
Yeah, but
we're considered Asians.
Yeah,
right.
But
no one is supporting one another. No one is speaking up. Everybody's just hush hush. But then black, it doesn't matter if you're from Detroit or you're from Africa or whatever else. If you're black, you're black. Someone is going to speak up for you. But us Asians, why do we not unite? Why do we not protect each other? When you have the negative media, you guys know as actors or actresses, you see it, but you guys don't say things. This is why you're afraid. And this is why we're being stepped on, because no one is speaking up.
Okay. You got into a bigger overall topic, so I'm going to leave that. Great point, by the way, but I'm going to leave that alone because I don't think that was the context of his comment, although it definitely is related. Okay, I 100% you. But the reason why black men are more supported than Asian men, because guys, my Asian brothers, I hate to say it, but because black men actually have the values that women want. Right, we can hate on we can hate on black men all we want if like you want to try to put them down, just like they try to put down Asian men, right? But they actually have something to show for it. They're tall, they're athletes, they're freaking outspoken, right? They make money or whatever. They have the men's values high. So it's almost kind of like calling somebody who's good looking, oh, you're ugly. Okay, you can call that all you want in the media, but after a while, the reality shows you that you're still good looking. Yeah. You calling a short Asian man short, the reality is he's short. He has nothing to counteract or to debate your accusation, right? So my Asian brothers, if we want them to stop making fun of us, but actually have nothing to make fun of us for, we need to become better. That's just the reality. Until our stereotypes change, our stereotypes are still true, right? The least the black man, you can say, okay, like my wife was saying earlier, not all of them are criminals now. Some of them are obviously becoming well-to-do in the thing, right? Not all of them.
They're trying to change their stereotype. Why aren't we trying to change our stereotype?
That's my point.
It's just a stereotype, right? Things that could be changed. It's not like it's ingrained in you that you got to be criminals, like say if they're black people. You got to be this. You can change yourself. Just like Asian men. Just because, you think you're short doesn't mean you can't up your other game. Hey, dress nice. Be fit. Do all that other stuff, to make yourself more attractive. So
the reality hurts. I get it. But the problem is when the reality Because if you're saying that, yes, Asian men are hated on because, it's easy to make fun of us because we're, we're the least attractive. The problem is we're the least attractive. Mm-hmm. So if you're the least attractive and people are making fun of you for being the least attractive, how is that ever going to change? The only way you're going to change is become not better, more attractive, right? So it's up to us. And guys, this is the other thing too. God, no one is coming to save the Asian man. I need you guys to understand that. No one is coming to save the Asian man. And you know why? It's because no one is coming to save men in general. Yep. Men are a freaking, what do they call it? We're the last to leave, right? Women and children first, right? I'm trying to find the word, but in essence, we're a disposable gender. We're the disposable commodity when it comes to people, right? So if you don't become the better guy, no one gives a damn, right? There's no homeless shelters for Asian, for men in general. Right? If you don't become high value and you don't get a date and you don't get a woman, the women are like, I don't give a damn. Yep. Look, how many women do you hear on these shows? How many women do you see in reality? It's like, I feel sorry for you, but I don't give a damn. Right?
Woman breaks down. People will go over there and pat. Men break down. They're like, you're a wuss.
Yeah, you're a loser.
Yeah. So think about it.
There's no excuse for men, let alone Asian men. Like so if you're low value, there's no one coming to save you. There's gonna be no rallies for us. Okay, there's gonna be no freaking like those things. Okay, like you want to get better. We have to get better as a community. Okay.
Should we just do a few more, honey?
Oh, we got a few more. Yeah. Okay.
I'll just do a few more.
At pre-NICE, we'll do as much as we can, honey. It's only been 45. So Asians are depressed. They look like they have everything figured out. Oh, he's asking this as a question. So what do you think, honey? This guy is saying that Asians aren't depressed, and it looks like we figured everything out. What do you say to that comment?
Saying that Asians are depressed?
He's saying that we're not depressed because he's confused. He's asking, he's asking like, you guys are depressed? It looks like you guys have everything figured out.
No, okay. Is it Prince? How would you pronounce it?
Pre-NICE, yeah, Prince. I don't know.
Okay, well, it looks like, yes, we have it put together. Like when you say, if you look at the women's side, yes, we're like, what my husband say, we're, one of the most desirable because, we're family oriented. We're, all that other stuff. But for men, would you say they're depressed? Well, if they're least desirable and, they're doing all their things, dot the I's, having education, doing all this stuff, being nice, whatever else. Yeah. But then they're not getting the woman. They're not even getting their own Asian woman. Yeah, I would say they're not depressed. I'm just saying they're more frustrated in terms like, why am I doing all these things, traditional things that my parents, right, are setting us up to do? And
talking about the guys?
Yeah,
you're talking about men?
The modern men. That are following this right now. Like, I'm doing all the things my parents are telling me to do traditionally in our community. Like, hey, I need to get an education. I need to do the job. I need to be that good son. I'm doing all that. Why am I still not being walked past? Walking past.
Yeah. This is the issue when people think that Asian men are doing okay, because this is the same thing when women say, oh, well, I got guys hitting up on me all the time, right? But who is actually putting a ring on your finger? Yeah. So for Asian men, the equivalent, the same analogy will be, okay, it's great. It looks like we're doing great financially. Looks like we're doing great, obviously, from a school, a study, and intelligence standpoint. But guys, what comes down to it always is the purpose. The truth. Are you getting the results of a family, a kid? And the problem why Asian men are getting depressed at pre-NICE is because we're the least desired men and when it comes to mating, right? Yeah. So that's the problem. So even though, yes, it looks from the outside looking in, it looks like we have our shit together, right? We're making good money, right? And we have a stable life. Doesn't mean that we're getting women. Doesn't mean that we're having the option to reproduce. Yeah. And when you don't have that, this is the thing why depression is such a freaking bullshit word, right? Because if you were on that purpose of the truth, you ain't going to be depressed.
Oh, that's why I use the word frustrated.
Right? But the problem is everyone that's depressed in life is people that cannot pursue the truth. Your values are too low. Right? Or for whatever reason, you're so blinded to the truth that you don't pursue the truth. So you see actors all the time, right? These guys that have a buttload of money, have a bunch of social status, and you're asking yourself, why do they self-delete themselves? Yeah. Right?
Why are you depressed?
Robin Williams, right? Anthony Bourdain. Yeah. If you look at all those guys who you might consider high value men, why they self-delete themselves? Because their relationships sucked balls. They had bad relationships with their wives. They had bad relationships with their women. They didn't pursue the truth. And they didn't understand that their values were supposed to be used for the truth. Right? So their women cheated on them, right? Or they weren't happy in their marriages. They lived in sexless marriages where their wives didn't have sex with them. Whatever the reason. But the point was they weren't pursuing the truth to the outcome that they wanted. So they became depressed, right? That's depression in a nutshell, right? To solve depression, we need to give everybody the outcome of the truth. The problem is, though, guys, the reality is, and this is kind of a Debbie Downer. I get it. But the problem is, not everyone's going to be able to pursue the truth. Because when it comes to men, and this comes back to what the last statement, looks like we got it figured out. We don't have it figured out as Asian men. And the reason why we're going to continue to become more depressed is because there's only so many seats at this table, right? The stats show it, right? Women want the top 20% of men. So what does that mean? Only the top 20 or 30% of men are going to mate. Are going to have
if you level up.
Exactly.
If you level up
and our history shows that, right? Our history shows that 30 to 40% of men have actually had children. The remaining 60 to 70% never had children. So what does that mean? That means 60 or 70% of you guys lost. You are the losers. Only 20 to 30% won. That's the reality. So there's going to be a bunch of depressed men. I get that. So what you guys need to do is understand that reality and not become one of those depressed men. Okay? All right, let's keep going. At call 911OK says, I think the people in their 20s born after the 2000s would have a better chance normalizing Asian males as equals due to social media exposures to the world instead of only being confined to the Western media. Number 2, Simu Liu did a good job portraying the cool Ken who's Asian that even Ryan Gosling was jealous at, slowly but surely. Okay, what do you think about that, honey? About at call 911? He's just saying that this new thing, because we have better social media now, we have more outlets. The Asian man have a little bit better chance of changing their image in essence. What do you think about that?
No, they have to change themselves. It's not, but media is media. They still portray Asian men as a dorky. Even now, look at the movies now. They don't portray the Asian men as the tough and the built guy or the 6 feet tall or whatever else. They still get this dorky. It has not changed. I don't think they've changed that much from the 20. You know what I mean? Like, born in the 20s until,
Yeah. At call 911, okay, yes, I agree with you. We should look at this as an optimistic opportunity. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this as an opportunity. But like my wife said, it's up to us to make that change, right? We have these platforms now. Shoot, we're using a platform right now to try to get the message out, right? So we have these platforms now that are within our control, right? But it's not going to be done unless we do it. We control that image and we control that media. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, right? He was trying to do that with black men. You can see at the end before he passed away, he was trying to change this image of the black man from being just an athlete, from being just an actor to being more of a businessman, right? Being more of like this respected businessman, right? So yes, we have the power to change this image
if you want
if we want to as a community,
and
right?
That's what we're trying to do here on this His and Hers channel, that hey, you guys can be saved. You men can be saved. Asian men can be saved if you just change little things at a time.
Yeah. At Ron again. Thank you, Ron. I agree. It definitely helps that other forms of media like Netflix and YouTube provided much better exposure of attractive Asian male actors, K-drama, and performers, K-pop to the Western world. We'll see how that translates into the dating market on whether that's any improvement in more open-minded Western women wanting to date Asian men. I haven't seen any improvement yet. Every time I go out, I see all types of relationships, except rarely ever any Asian male, white female couples. So what do you think about that? Like I said, man, he's, hey, Ron, at least, you're looking a little bit more optimistic than pessimistic. But what do you think about that, honey?
I like that. Yes, they do have portray of little things. But you know what? K-drama guys and everything else, most women, they find them. If you look at cutesy, whatever, it's a very
niche.
It's like a phase. Okay? Oh my God, K-drama guys are cute. But think about it. As a typical woman, no one wants to date a guy who has more makeup, more accessories than
crying all the time,
come on, dude.
Emotionally unstable, right? Like always freaking fighting over a woman.
I like watching watching the drama. Don't get me wrong. I do like watching the K-dramas, but would I marry a guy who has more makeup than me and wear more accessories than me? No, I would not, and cry more than me. No. I mean, I don't cry a lot, but I'm just saying, like, cry more than a woman should. Because then it makes you look sissy. Yes, they look good. They do that romance thing. They always try to, like, fight for this ugly, whatever this chick.
Yeah, it's this average chick that all these hot guys are fighting over.
Like that mean girl that they put is even hotter than the major person, but you know what? Just because she's sweet, so all these guys are going for it. But you know what? In reality, they're not going to.
Yeah.
They're not. It's just a niche
guys,
that gets people real into the movie.
They're hitting their target audience, which are middle-aged, freaking, let's be honest, average-looking women, right? Right, they're trying to sell to this women's like it's like reading a romance novel, right? This shit isn't happening in real life, okay?
Because you don't see this hot girl that's gonna be trying to date this guy who's crying all the time, or trying to like.
My point.
Women don't like guys who are attached.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't like that. That just shows
needy, clingy. They don't want more emotional than they are, right?
That's what the K-drama is doing. Like,
guys,
clingy, emotional.
exactly.
Nobody wants that.
Correct.
Like, yes, K-drama it's gearing towards that. Oh my God, it's so romantic. No, it isn't. Reality, that is why you don't see these women actually officially. They think it's cute, but they will not want them.
Real quick before we move on to the next topic, we still have a lot of comments to go. Guys, you have to look at what the target audience is now. You have a lot of single women.
Yeah.
You have a lot of, unfortunately, low value single women in our society, right? You have to sell them a dream. Like I said this on last video, right? Shout out to Fresh from Fresh and Fit, right? You got to sell these women a dream, and they're going to buy it. They're going to eat it the hell up, right? And so what are these shows and what are these K-dramas? But this is the thing. These women, when it comes to reality, like my wife said, even if you gave them this guy, because you're selling them that they think that this is what they want, they don't want this.
Nope.
They want a leader. They want a man who takes charge, right? They want an alpha dude at the end of the day. These women are going to freaking think that they want these guys, just like all these 304s, these ex-prom stars that date all or marry all these beta guys. They think that's what they want, a guy that understands me, who's emotionally intelligent, who's going to split 50-50 with me, right?
Nope.
Share his emotions with me.
Never works
and then at the end of the day, guess who ends up breaking up with these guys? These same damn women, right? So it's all cap. Anyways.
Just like these K-drama stars. I mean, hey, I like watching K-dramas, for a little entertainment, but would I marry one that's emotionally and dysfunctional?
It's all cap.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all cap. All right, next comment. At Ron, I agree. I agree that Asian men should strive to create the best value they can to women. However, even if for the 1% mega Asian chads, the majority of Western women won't be because they simply don't. In a perfect world, same kind of comment, at Ron. Western women will be willing to date any race, including Asian men, if they are high value. But in the real world, Western women care about race first and foremost. Let's read the other reactions right before we react. At Sith Queen GG588 says, I love Asian men as Native American. I agree some Asian women are seething and gatekeeping us from dating their men. Too bad it's not working. At Tartarus 500 states, many non-Asian Western women date Asian men that are not the top 10%. It's becoming more common. Okay. At Tartarus 500, many non-Asian Western women where are you? Oh, at Ron replied to at Tartarus. Many non-Asian Western women, where are you seeing this? I don't see many at all here in the D.C. metro area. I might see a few once in a blue moon, but certainly not many. If there were many, then I would see this several times while going out. That is certainly not the case over here.
Okay.
And that's certainly not the case from where we're at either, guys. Asian men, white females, that's still a very rare couple, right?
We see it, but it's not like, oh my God, you're walking, there's 10 of them, or, it's like, okay,
And stereotypically, guys, I hate to say it, but what we normally see is kind of like what my wife talked about earlier. It's a very niche couple, right? Because they're typically very low value, both of the women and the male. This is not a diss, guys. When I say like low value, high value, I'm talking about the values that pursue the truth. So whether that's height, whether that's income, whether that's your physical fitness, right? Obviously, whether that's your social status as well. These are just realities, right? If you're 5'6" and you're out of shape and you're not making that much money, you're a low value guy. Live in reality. Don't take it such a personal thing. It is the truth. At least when you know the truth, you can change that. But anyways, Yeah, I don't know what at Tartarus 500 is saying is
Mm-hmm.
because that's not really a common pairing.
No.
Maybe where he's from, maybe that's the case. So at Tartarus 500, definitely maybe comment and say where you're from,
Mm-hmm.
but that's still a very unlikely combination.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of at Sith Queen GG588, she's Native American and she's saying that she loves Asian men, but she's saying that Asian women are gatekeeping us from dating their men. What do you think about that comment, honey?
No.
Because I think there's some nuance in that comment.
Yeah.
What do you think about that comment?
Well, I mean, it's a good thing that she says she's from a Native person and loving Asian men, but for most Asian women to be gatekeepers, no, I don't find that around here. So, I mean, we're wishing most of probably them are like, hey, take my Asian men because they're all
Yeah. The average Asian man is low value.
No.
We talked about this already. Like I said, hey, let's work on it. Change that stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, women do not gatekeep.
Nope.
Women have the options. They choose,
For
the
who to
best
go
man.
through. Yep.
They don't gatekeep.
Nope.
Right? So my sister, at Sith Queen GG588, if you really like Asian men,
Please.
there's
They
no
will.
Asian women
They'll be like,
gatekeeping.
"Take 'em."
No, the point is, if the Asian guy was hot enough and he was hot enough to attract you,
Mm-hmm.
and if guys are not, guys are easy, right? If women come to
They're
us,
very straightforward.
if women come to us and offer themselves to us, we're gonna be like, oh shit, like it's like our lucky day, right? It's like we won the lotto, right? So that's not gonna happen, right? Women and Asian women aren't stopping. What? Think about this, at Sith Queen. If you as an Asian woman has all the options in the world, being one of the highest desired, being the highest desired ethnicity on dating apps, why would you care if your options of your Asian men
Nope.
has an option with another woman? You're like, I'm getting hit on by all the different other ethnicities. I don't have time to worry about what the Asian man is getting.
And if
Asian
she
women,
does-
Asian women don't care what options Asian men are getting.
And if
Like,
she wants that Asian man, trust me,
the-
she's gonna want the
you
high
notice,
value
and the
Asian
reason why I say that, because I compare it once again to black women. Why do you think black women always try to gatekeep their black men? Because black women don't have fucking options. That's why they're hating, right? They're hating because they have no options. There's no guys hitting them up on dating apps because they're the least desired women on dating apps. And because they're not getting options, they're like, I want my black man to stay true to me, right? Right? Think about your mom, think about your sister, right? Like, like I'm the same race as you. Why aren't you freaking marrying me? Why aren't you dating me? Right? People with options don't gatekeep, man. That's my whole point. Okay? No one gives a shit. If you have all the options in the world, you don't give a shit what other people are doing. Okay? All right. Oh, okay. Okay. So the next comments, guys, are gonna be related to this comment. So we'll see what it is. Ron replied to at Tartarus 500. He says, to add to my reply, if what you claim is true, then you would see many women that have Asian men as one of their racial preferences in their online dating profiles. But that is not the case, nor has it ever been. In addition, if what you claim is true, then you would see YouTube interviewers asking women who they would not date, and these Western women's responses would be that they would not date Asian men. At best, their responses should be that they would not date someone who isn't attractive, boring, etc., as opposed to stating a specific race as Asian men. Some of them even laugh as they say they don't date Asian men. You can see this for yourself in YouTube. At BeanieCat9411 responded to at Ron. He says, go out and see America. It's more of a norm than you think. I've seen Mexican women date Asian guys too. Is that rare for you too? At BeanieCat responded again. To at Ron, bruh, ever met a girl into anime? At Ron responded to at Beanie. He says, I can only base my thoughts on where I'm located, DC metro area. That every time I go out, I rarely ever see Western women with Asian men. So where are you located that you see Western women with Asian men all over the place? At Ron replied to at Beanie again. He says, yes, there are plenty of girls into anime, but that doesn't mean that they are interested in Asian men. That just means they are into anime. And then at iTech2005 responded, this entire conversation just confirms that women are gold diggers. Okay. So what do you think about that, honey? That kind of that back and forth between at Ron and at Beanie.
Well, because at Ron doesn't doesn't believe, like, hey, where are you seeing all this, white women with Asian man? Because in my DC area, I don't see this often.
And that's true in Washington too,
yeah,
guys. I mean, we're in the
that's true
Washington
in
area,
Washington area.
Seattle, East Side.
And he's referring to anime. Like, oh my gosh, is he referring to like the Asian, like the anime convention, whatever? Then yeah, because it's anime, right?
Yeah.
But
well,
that doesn't make it like the typical you're gonna see them.
Yeah. Once again, we keep talking about the exceptions to the rule. At Beanie Cat 9411, I don't know if that's a brother or a sister, but you're talking about the exceptions to the rule. Are there women dating Asian men? 100% there are. We've never said that there's never any, but we're talking about the majority once again, right? The majority of interracial couples we know from fact is white men, Asian women, right? That's typically the majority interrace couple. The next couple I would probably say is black men and white women, right? And then after that, who knows what the stats is? But honestly, who really cares after that, right? We only focus on that majority once again, right? And so that's why I get it. A lot of Asian men are hating because most Asian women date white guys, right? And that's why we hate that pairing. We hate that combination. But we got to realize we have to understand the why. The why is always important. And it's not because of a self-hatred. It's not because of obviously, social media or anything. I repeat myself. It's because of our values. And unfortunately, when you have one race that is unfortunately on average lower value than another race, and this other race just happens to be one of the higher values or the highest value, I just told you guys earlier that white men by average is the tallest ethnicity, right? And if women are looking for height,
that's where they're going to look at.
Like I said, if you want the best value, you're going to go to where the best value is, right? So stop hating on it. Just realize what it is. Understand what women want. Give them what they want, and you will have better results.
Make changes.
Right? Now, in terms of the conversation of the gold diggers, what do you think about the gold digging comment?
Well, you can't confirm that. Okay, well then you're saying that through these conversations that you're thinking all these women, whether Mexicans or Asians, are gold diggers. Women aren't gold diggers. They're just women that has to fulfill the needs if they want to level up to the next level. Say if they want a family, you want a guy that's broken poor so you can live poorly and not feed your kids. Women, we are motherly. So if you're going to want a guy, you want a guy to support you, have a better lifestyle. That isn't considered to me as a gold digger. It's just the norm. Like, I don't want to suffer.
Yeah.
I don't want to suffer. I don't want my daughter to suffer,
Yeah. The problem is we always misdefine words, and then we start changing the meaning of words. We start changing the meaning of words. See, gold diggers is supposed to mean a woman, right, that just extracts the value of the man, stereotypically his finance value, right, and doesn't offer anything in return.
But
that is a gold digger. That is the true, accurate definition of a gold digger, right? A woman that takes your finance resources, right, your values, and doesn't offer anything in return, right? But if a woman gives you her values in return, you cannot deem her a gold digger, right? So in essence, if you're just looking at it, if you're conflating the thing of, well, women just want finances and every woman want finances, so all women are gold diggers, that's not the truth. The truth is that only women that don't return anything, give you anything in return, are gold diggers, right? So that's where you have to kind of learn women's nature. This is where you have to learn, is the woman that you're with, you're providing all your values to her, but is she giving you back anything in return? If she's only giving you, for example, half of her values or only some of your values, for example, a lot of hot women do this, right? They're with these freaking beta bucks type of dudes, right? Millionaires who are losers. They're not very good looking, whatever, right? They're not sleeping with them. They're just hanging out with them, being candy on their arm. Maybe they'll sleep with them every once in a while, but let's be honest, they're just stringing these guys along.
They don't.
But mostly, exactly.
Like sort of like build up, like, oh, you might get to sleep with them.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't. At the end, they don't really sleep with these guys, but they're trying to, like, hey, I want to go to lavish things. I want to buy the nice handbags or jewelry. But they'll try to act like they care about you. But most of these girls don't care about you.
Yeah, but if you have a girlfriend, fiance, or wife who's cooking, cleaning for you, nurturing you, right, and have kids with you and taking care of it, how is she a gold digger? She's giving your values to you in return for your values to her.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I said values.
Anyways,
Okay,
right?
I think we're good on this now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's see. More comments.
Oh, okay.
Okay. At Beanie Cat responded to Ron. It says, could have fooled me with how many couples and marriages I've seen with Asian husbands and white wives when I did construction and hauling, and I've moved people across the U.S. too, so I'm not quite seeing what you're talking about or what's said in this video. At Ron replied to at Beanie Cat, I don't know, man. The areas you've been is clearly a lot different than where I'm at. However, there's also the online dating situation where there are hardly any Western women that include Asian men as one of many racial preferences they can choose from. At Beanie Cat responded to at Ron, some of these studies I don't think are genuine. Like some of them are isolated studies, not nationwide studies. So we're never getting the exact number. And others come with the intent to trigger folks and spread misinformation. At Cowlico responded, but she's not lying about these dudes dating or getting dudes that are in bad shape, but it's not always like that. However, my neighbor is 67 and his wife is 32 and checking out every dude in the neighborhood. For me, it's whatever. At Lacey Chan responded to at Ron is Washington State. At Ron responded to at Lacey Chan and says, how is it in Washington State? I've heard about the Seattle freeze from various YouTubers. And then at Lacey Chan responded to Ron and says the freeze is a real thing. Interracial white male Asian females and Asian male white females are huge here. Lots of anime, video game loving girls here too. All right, so what do you think about that?
Going back and forth.
Yeah, so a lot about like I said, I'll say first, honey, because obviously I'll let you respond too, but I think a lot of these things once again are just exceptions to the rule. I think at Beanie Cat, he's in an area, he's in an environment where he's seen it more than once. And so even though it might not be the average, right? It's kind of like, have you guys ever played this game where like, you wanted to find a particular car on the road, and then once you spot that car, let's say it's like, yeah, exactly. As soon as you start doing that, or just even if you're just saying, oh, I just want to see if I can find this car, you'll notice that as soon as you start doing that, you'll start seeing that car more frequently. It's because your mind is starting to kind of just wanting to look, but then you don't see all the other things that are going around, right? And so once again, it's just a numbers game, right? Even though at Beanie Cat, I 100% believe you. I'm pretty sure you've seen quite a few or a handful of, Asian men, white female couples in your day. But when you look at the totality, the big picture, it's still a rare occurrence.
Minute.
It's not
Small.
it's not the average occurrence, right? And so at Ron is 100% correct. And then these online studies, there's no reason for these people to lie, right? It's actually even more accurate when you think about it, because on an online app, you're sheltered from offending anybody, right? You're literally just a nameless face that says, what's my preference, right? No one's going to show a picture of your face that says, oh, this person didn't choose Asian men, right? There's no women getting blasted on social media saying, look at all these women that didn't choose Asian men. All these women are racist against Asian men, right? It's literally just a preference that you select on your dating app. So when you can be honest and say, hey, I want 6 foot tall, I want 6 figures, I want to date just white guys or black guys, right? No one's going to like shame you for it, right? And no one's going to call you out. So it's probably one of the most accurate datas, if anything, right? And then in terms of the Seattle freeze, yeah, it's 100% true. I mean, I've told you guys, like, I've grown up here pretty much my whole life, and to me, it's still a rare occurrence when I see an Asian guy with a white girl or a white lady. And I do see it from time to time, but it's typically, like I said, it's not high value Asian men with high value white women, right? It's going to be kind of just your stereotypical goofy Asian dude. And he has, unfortunately, just your average white chick.
Or an Asian woman. And then she's got like, not so great good looking, an average Joe white dude. You don't.
Yeah,
see,
but
like,
my point is, it's more like, I guess we always talk about the top tier, right? And we always want to make that the common thing. For example, black women aren't upset that their black men are dating outside of their race, right? Or marrying outside their race, because the statistics actually show that most black men marry black women. What black women are complaining about is that the top tier black men are dating outside of their age, outside of their race, right? So they're dating all the hot white chicks, or all the hot Latina chicks, or all the hot Asian chicks, right?
And
so
that's what they're upset.
Exactly.
They don't care about the guy who's like gangster looking or broke.
Exactly. So it's the same.
They want the providers that's taken away from them.
So it's the same thing, right? Asian men are hating on the hot Asian chicks, or what they deem as the better looking Asian chicks that are dating these white guys, right? That's what we're hating on. If it was some ugly Asian chick, let's be honest, most Asian guys, we ain't gonna give a damn. It's like, oh, hey, thank you. You took one for the team, right? You took an ugly Asian chick out of the roster for us, right? Like, that's the reality, right? We're only complaining because we're not getting the best options, right? But hey, like I said, that's the reality. Okay. All right. At Dan Amaku Master says, so you're telling me there's a chance, right?
Yes,
So this was on a video that says, we were talking about how Asian women date low value white men, but you got to remember that comparatively, right? This was a comparison. It was compared to Asian men, right? So even though in this video, Asian women were dating what we would deem as kind of like goofy, low value white men, the reality hurts in that these low value or perceived low value white men, unfortunately, are still higher value than the average Asian guy, right? And a lot of it has to do with height. A lot of it has to do with, obviously I don't discount that some social media influence is involved, but the point is, if you can have a taller, goofy white dude or a shorter, goofy Asian dude, which one are you going to choose?
So it doesn't take a rocket
It's
science.
not going to take a rocket science that if women prefer height, they're going to choose the taller, goofy dude. Doesn't matter the ethnicity.
That's just like reverse it. Like the men, if you're choosing, right? Here's a hot girl, and then there's a girl who's big and not so attractive. Who do you think you're going to choose? Same thing.
Yeah, they're not going to base on personality.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn. Like, come on, man.
There you go.
Anyways, yeah. At Velocitor 3792, he says, this is all pretty racist and cringe, calling people low value. If other people think these guys are low value, then they shouldn't care who they date. At iTech 2005, it also makes women look like gold diggers. Everything revolves around money, regardless of his character or looks. At Key Witness 4955 says, the truth hurts, doesn't it? iTech 2005 responds to at Key Witness says, you like truth, huh? Well, here's some for you. Most women are by definition just average, yet somehow feel they're in a position to look down on an average man. You have basic looking chicks working full time at call centers telling a dude he needs to make 6 figures to qualify for her. They're shopping way out of their league and just getting pumped and dumped like rag dolls by top tier men. Women love applying this disrespectful terminology to men like settling, but can't handle it when they're told the truth. And the truth is that to the men they all feel like they deserve, they're the ones that man would actually be settling for. Yeah, truth hurts. At Velocitor 3792 responded to at Key Witness, what truth and who is it hurting? At Iron Beast 23 says, calling someone low value isn't racist, you clown. And would you rather call them busted? All right. So yeah, so I love that there's this debate back and forth, and the reason being, guys, is because a huge portion of our society lives within the matrix, and now there's this huge portion of our society that's being awoken to the truth, right? And so now you're seeing this battle between people who are awoken and people who are still living in these matrix ideologies.
Hey, don't be afraid to speak your mind.
So I'll let you react first, Honey Ben. What do you think about us, at Velociter calling us kind of cringe and racist by people calling low value? Yeah.
Well, low value is just a terminology. It's like, hey, if you're not making money, you're not taking care of yourself, your hygiene and your traits aren't up in that,
Yeah.
Then what do you call you? What do you want us to call you?
Yeah. At Velocitor, this 100% proves that you're still living in the matrix, because the matrix, I told you guys, what the matrix is any ideology that tries to shield you or hide you from the truth, right? The truth is that there are low value people and high value people. There's winners and losers, right? The truth is the sky is blue. Men are men, women are women, right? You want to live in a world where we tell you, oh, body positivity. Everyone's freaking beautiful. There's someone for everyone. Yep. Sounds so fucking nice, doesn't it? But the reality is not that. No. Right?
Reality
right?
isn't nice.
Lizzo is not getting good dating options. I don't care how much people tell her that, she's beautiful, right? Beautiful inside. Well, it doesn't matter because her outside sucks, right? So you're living in a freaking false reality, right? And you want to believe that. And so we need to stop changing the definition of things, right? When I say, or when we say people are low value, it's just stating a fact. It's not a diss. In actuality, it's to open their eyes so that way they can actually fix themselves. They can actually get themselves better, right? If someone didn't come to me and says, hey, Twan, you're not doing this correct, how will I ever know? How will I ever know to fix this problem? For me, one of the best things you can do as a human being is look at your weaknesses, look at your faults, and fix those things. Because that's what's going to make you the better person, right? Don't focus on the things that people are lying to you. Oh, you're such a great person. You're such this. And, deep down behind your back, they're telling that, man, this guy's a freaking asshole. This guy is this, right? Would you rather have someone lie to you or tell you the truth? Okay? At iTech 2005, like I told you, all women are, in a way, gold diggers if you conflate the sense that they all want the finance value from the man, right? But they aren't gold diggers if they're giving you something in return, right? If it's an equal exchange, right? We talk about imp, right? The S word, right? The imp word, right? Imping is really just an unequal value exchange, right? A woman can be an imp too, right? The equivalent of a woman imping, right, would be if this dude is just banging you all the time, right? And then he's not giving you any protection, no provision or anything like he's literally just having sex with you and he's not giving you anything in return. You're imping for this dude, right? But let's be honest, majority of women
would not
can do that, right? Like, right? Like that's a very small percentage of men that can get women imping for them, right? So the truth is the most men imp for women, right? And so the truth hurts, doesn't it? Is because at Key Witness is being 100% right. The truth does hurt. But the truth, it's supposed to hurt to give you a change, right? Imagine, okay, there's this disease or a condition, right, that some people have, that when they get cut, they don't feel anything. They don't feel anything. They literally get cut. Well, you know what the byproduct of that is? They don't do anything about it. And what happens is they can bleed to death, right? And so they're constantly on monitoring, right? Like they have to be constantly monitored because if they get an injury, they don't feel pain. And so now, like, you think that's a great superpower, right? Most people think about it like, oh, that would be a great superpower. I get cut and I don't feel any pain. No, well, what happens when you bleed out, right? Because you didn't know you were cut. Well, same thing. If you don't know that someone like is telling you, hey, you need to fix this damn problem, how are you going to fix the problem? So the truth does hurt, and it needs to hurt for a reason. It hurts because it tells you, damn, this is not a good feeling. I need to do something about this, right? Otherwise, if it feels good all the time, why would you do something? If it feels good, you're going to keep doing what you're doing.
You won't want to make a change.
Right? Exactly.
So.
And yes, at iTech 2005, that is the current dating market. What you just said there about how women feel like they're all these top tier women because they're lied to. And once again, this is why the truth needs to hurt, because we need to tell these women that they aren't deserving of this top tier guy, right? Nope. We used to live in a society where we told everyone at least the closer to the truth, right? Hey, if you're a low valued person, regardless of woman or man, you can only expect these certain outcomes, right? But the problem, guys, is that doesn't make money, right? And so we were all lied to in the pursuit of making money, right? The corporate infrastructure, and you can blame corporates. I don't care. It's human nature. People are greedy. People want to make money. We all want to make money. We all want to make resources, right? And so what's the best way to make money? Sell people lies, right? Tell them that they're beautiful even though they're not beautiful, right? Tell them that you're freaking good for doing this even though deep down in your heart you know that what you're doing is wrong, right? Oh, it's okay to freaking be a loser and playing video games all day. Buy our video game. It's okay to be a loser playing video games all day. Buy our potato chips. Drink our energy drinks, right? It's okay to be overweight and fat. Wear this lingerie. It still looks great on you, girl. You're a boss babe. You're just big boned, right? Like, it sells. And so the more people you can sell to, the more money you can make. So it's just a matrix to get you guys to buy, right? And so yes, it's hurting the truth, and that's why, unfortunately, at iTech 2005, you're 100% correct. Yep. That's what women think. Unfortunately, they deserve now. Okay. And then at Iron Beast 23, I'm glad that you're one of the ones that are awoken, because yes, right, it isn't racist to call someone low value. No. The low value is just a value, and it doesn't mean that you can't do something about it.
You can't make a change.
You can change to get your higher value, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's keep going here. At Calico says, a higher value dude in that country would speak the language, and it is more about the quality of women and vice versa. Ain't no man or woman of higher value gonna date or get with a stock dropper, no matter where they come from. When I lived in Japan, my old roommate, Nozaki, used to crack me up. He would say, let him have her. She's low rent anyways. Okay, so at Calico is talking about what I just said, right? Like, if you're an ugly Asian chick, most Asian guys ain't gonna care if they date, out of their race, right?
Same thing with like the men. It's like when the other ladies like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm blocking, from to date Asian men." No, trust me, the Asian woman would be like, "Nope, take him." I mean, if he's low value man, he's not doing
no one
or providing, he's low value. Trust me, we will not be blocking nothing. We'll be like, "Take him away, please."
Yeah,
Same thing with a woman.
This is the truth, though. The only reason why I can say Asian men can be justifiably criticized as being gatekeepers is because men are territorial in general by nature, right? And then this is the other thing: if our women, which is 100% true, if they're the highest, desired ethnicity, and they're our ethnicity, right? And men are protective by nature, right? And are controlling, whatever you want to call it, by nature, we're gonna be like, we want our women for ourselves, right? It's no different when you go to any other country that's still very old school tradition. They're gonna protect their women to the death.
Yeah,
right?
But not if these women are low value and going around, sleeping around, causing trouble.
Why
would these men want
that's
to keep up?
Exactly.
Please,
that's the problem, right? Is that there has to be an equal value exchange, right? If the Asian women were still worth protecting, then Asian men would be like, we need to do our best to protect them. But the problem is, with this modern ideology, all women are really not worth protecting anymore, right? Because now they're saying, I'm independent, I can do my own thing, right? Like, so as men, we're like, well, if you can do your own thing and you don't respect us anymore, why should we protect you?
Well, look
right?
at the videos that we had. If you guys want to go check it out, our last video with the, the guys that's interviewing, how many partners Japanese women are sleeping. Trust me. Would you think these men would be like, oh, please, let's say.
Yeah, let me say some 304 that has over 200 body count. It ain't gonna happen.
These women are what, under
21? 20, 21,
having almost 200 body count. Who even sleeps at, like, I don't know, what was the youngest one, like what?
She was 18. Yeah,
16,
she at 12 she already slept with somebody.
And then the other lady's what? Like 18, and she's already got, like, I don't know, over
50 or 60. Yeah.
Like, who wants to save those? You guys want it? Go ahead.
Women. Let me. I'll tell you guys this.
Like,
women.
Asian men don't
Women.
Want that.
You guys are the prize. 100%. You guys are the prize. I 100% believe that. Okay, you guys are the prize. But is a prize worth winning if the guy from 1 to 100 who competed for you was able to win you? Right? If every man from the number one participant to the 100th participant was able to get you and win you, you ain't a prize worth winning. You're like a freaking damn, like a merry-go-round at a freaking damn circus, right? Everyone got a ride. So it's like, you weren't worth winning. So if you are actually the prize, though,
value yourself,
right? And you are only able to be won by the top tier dudes, then you would be considered a prize, right? That's why body count matters so much, right? It's just common sense, okay?
If a guy that just wants to bang you, women, okay, if you're low value and you're like in the merry-go-round, they don't care. They're like, oh, you have 100, 200, I just want to bang you.
Well, every guy wants to bang you, from the 100th participant to the number one person. The point is, your job is to discern which man was worthy enough. And of course, we had things in place to make those barriers, right? He had to be over a certain height. He had to make a certain amount of money. He had to reach a certain social status. He had to freaking earn, be socially aware, right? Have game, have risk. All these skills require a man to work hard at to obtain, right?
But these women did it.
But if you're able to give your value up to any Joe Schmo that comes around, what prize are you?
Yeah.
Right? So that's the problem.
They wonder why these men did not
Don't
put
respect
a ring
them.
respect them or put a ring on their finger.
Yeah.
Why should they put a ring on your finger if there's nothing that
There's
they
no
need
barrier
to protect?
There's no barrier to
no
entry.
value.
There's no barrier
Yeah,
to
you have
entry.
no
There was no obstacle I had to
Yeah.
overcome to get this prize,
Yeah.
right? You just gave it to me by me just walking through the door.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
So.
At Riley Freeman stated, OnlyFans chick is not the type to date, and I'm not even Asian. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's yeah. But hold on a second. At Riley Freeman, dating is one thing, right? If you're just playing the game and you're just banging her, and obviously, right, as long as it doesn't affect your social status, if it doesn't affect, let's be honest. Let's be honest, truth. As a guy, even as a high value guy, will you be looked down upon if you were dating some OnlyFans chick or dating some prawn stars? Yes, by all means, yes. Some people are going to be looking like, dude, like, why are you dating an OnlyFans star? Or why are you dating? But as long as you don't put a ring on it, let's be honest, most people ain't going to judge you. They'll be like, okay, cool. He's just using her for sex. He's just banging with her. And then, he's going to dump her to the side when the time comes. So let's make sure that at Riley Freeman, that men understand that you can date these chicks all you want. Just don't put a ring on them, okay? That's the main thing, right? And obviously, don't get a disease, right? So, but good luck with that one, right? All right, next comment. At Tortoise500, all these reasons for self-deleting are actually good reasons to be motivated to be better. Yeah, 100%. Someone's getting it, right? And that's what we need to understand,
and
right?
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, so these are the reasons, guys. The pursuit of the truth, the values to get the truth are why men are self-deleting and why Asian men in particular are self-deleting more, right? Because we're not getting the outcomes that we want. Notice how most men who self-delete, it's always because of some of that reason. What are the majority of men that self-delete? Do you guys know? The majority are white men over 55, I think, over a certain age, right? And why is that, guys? We can hypothesize all you want, but this is my guess. Most of them are divorced, right? They got divorced, right? And so now it's like they don't upkeep themselves. They pretty much lost everything through that divorce. This is the other thing too. Maybe their kids are no longer like needing them, right? They've already moved out of the house. The wife left them, whatever, right? They have no purpose. And when a man, this is the most dangerous thing in society is a man without purpose. A man that has nothing to lose. We hear that all the time, right? A man that has nothing to lose is the most dangerous guy out there because you don't know what he's going to be capable of. He's going to kill himself or he can go do a mass shooting, right? Like he's unstable because he has no reason to live, right? And for most men, not all men, but for most men, a reason for living is a family, kids, and perfection, providing, and that purpose of giving that outcome the best, right? And so that's why a lot of men, including Asian men, are starting to self-delete, right? All right. At Bloom0121 says, there are many European women going to East Asian countries to find a husband. Okay, wow. All right, I'd love to see the stat on that. Also, other way around, many East Asian men come to Europe. I definitely see that. I know many married couples, including myself. I am German. My husband is Japanese. Okay, so she's a female. Yeah. She's a European. She went to Japanese to find a husband. What do you think about that first?
That's not common. I mean, the European part, yes, I see Asian men now are going outwards because it's Western. They know that they're not least desirable. I know they're outreaching to Europe. They're outreaching to what was the other country? Because I do see that on YouTube channel. But is it common? Are these women actually sticking with them? No, they're not. I do hear that even though they got married up there, they only last a year or so. I'm going to be truthful and honest, just because. And these women just wanted a passport just to get out of their how would you want to call it? Shiz hole. You know what I mean? Like they're dumb. That's it. And they don't last because,
Guys, we are not going to change the formula anytime soon. Desperate times calls for desperate measures, right? Yeah. And so I get it. We're living in a society now where there's a bunch of, unfortunately, single women that don't have that many options, right? And what do women do when they know that they're running out of options and they're getting desperate? They're going to go for the beta bucks. And unfortunately, my Asian brothers, like I told you, we are the perfect target, right? Because we've been trained our whole lives to be the beta bucks, right? Right? And so you have all these women, regardless if they're from Europe or from wherever, they need to find a man, and they need a man to support them, to provide for them. They said, screw it, right? I'm done looking for this top tier dude, right? Like, he's just going to hit it and quit it, or he's not going to put a ring on me. Well, you know what I can do? I can go find this beta dude that makes good money, and he's going to freaking cherish me because, oh my God, he's not getting any options at all, right? But like my wife said, it's not going to last because human nature is going to always come through. And these women, as much as they want to say, oh my God, this man loves me, he's providing for me,
but
they
it's still not
don't
fulfilling.
Exactly. They are not attracted to you. They are not aroused by you. They're going to get bored of you. This is gonna, dude. You're 100% at Bloom0121. This is going to be more common. But what's also going to be more common is that these women are going to divorce these freaking dudes, and they're going to leave these guys, and they're going to just move on to the next guy, right?
And I see it, and I do see it. I see it, but they don't last. Like, at most, maybe they'll give you maybe 3 or 4 years of their time, and after that they leave because once they figured, hey, I'm already here, I'm already getting my green card, whatever else.
You got a kid from you, you're providing for me, you're paying child support. I get money from the alimony, I get money from the separation.
You don't believe what we say here on the His and Hers channel, which we do only speak the truth of. Then you know what? Just open your eyes, go look, go research, go even investigate these people who got married. Go ask them how long they've got married. Okay, and 6 months, a year, 2 years, and now maybe 3 years, and then boom, she's out.
And this is a warning to my Asian brothers because you're gonna think of this as like, oh my God, this is a great opportunity. Like I have all these women from other races and other countries wanting to marry and date me now. But no, they're not going to appreciate you. They're not gonna be aroused, and eventually they're gonna leave you. And you're still gonna be depressed. You're still gonna want to self-delete. Like I said, this is only going to get worse before it gets better if we don't change. Okay. All right, next one. At Yellow Joe 2000 commented, the data is clear in the USA. Most white women will not. Nearly 50% Asian prefer not. Black and Latino women would not date. Latino women would date Asian men. At Tortoise 500, Asian men need to improve themselves just like men of every other race. It's just that Asian males might need to be better than men of other races to compete with them. Yeah. So both comments are true in a sense, right? So yeah, white women are not preferring Asian men as a preference. Black and Latino are preferring Asian men, like I said, out of desperation. Out of desperation. Like black women are the least desired, and so they're like, hey, what race could I go and potentially match up with because they're so desperate themselves, and that's Asian men, unfortunately, right? And then Latino women, luckily,
they prefer just to provide for them.
Exactly.
They don't really care whether you're black, white, or Asian. I've seen Latinos date outside their race a lot. I do see that because you know why? Think about it. Where they come from is worse condition. They the guys don't barely make anything. They barely provide. They don't treat their women all that great. Okay, that is why they don't mind going outside their race.
Let's not even talk about maybe those extremes. Like maybe the guy doesn't treat the woman right. I'm sure that is more of the exception than the norm. On average, I think men in general will treat their women correctly. But my point is this. We always have to compare values to values, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, right? Majority of Hispanic men are not that tall. So from an Asian male to comparative to Hispanic male, it's not that much difference, right? But this is the difference. Asian men make way more money than Latino men on average. So if Latino women have a choice, hey, they're not much taller than one another, but this guy makes way more money than this other guy, right? And my wife is 100%. A lot of these Latino women that are dating Asian men, they're not super hot Latino women. Once again, guys, if this was a thing, guys, if if super hot Latino women were dating Asian men, you don't think there would be a huge group of Latino men, just like how Asian men hate on white men? You don't think there will be a huge group of Latino men on freaking the forums or on websites saying how they hate Asian men and how Latinos are like, they'll come up with some term like lose for the Latino women, right? They'll be like, these women are gold diggers. These women are freaking like, self-hating. They don't like Latino.
They would not care if they know that Asian man has high value. Think about if he's an actor and he has money and she's wearing all these nice things. They're not going to say anything.
The point is it's not a norm. And the point is that it's not high value Latino women that are dating these Asian men, right? It's just these average to below average Latino women that are just looking at their options. They say, hey, I could either go with just your average Latino guy who is short, who doesn't make that much money. He's going to treat me nice, but how's that going to help me get a family? Or I can get with this Asian man who's short as well too, but God damn it, he makes a lot more money on average. Well, I'm going to choose the guy. So once again, guys, it's just about values. We need to get over this whole goddamn race thing, okay? It's not about race, okay?
They even date the black guys because think about it. The black guy's making money. He's tall.
But the black guy in general doesn't make as much money, right? Stats show this, right? Asian men make the most money by ethnicity. But what the Asian man doesn't have is the other traits. And so that leads me to the comment that at Tartarus 500 says, I agree with you. He needs to be better than men of other races to compete because he's lacking some of the values the Asian man is lacking that you cannot change. Height being the primary one. Physical fitness being the other primary one. Yes, you can change that. But my point is, do most Asian men do that? Once again, we're just talking about exactly in this current stereotype, most Asian men don't go work out and get themselves in shape, right? That wasn't something that was pushed upon us as a culture. Most Asian men don't play sports. That wasn't one of the things that was pushed upon us. So if you're not going to play sports, why are you going to be pushed to be more physically in shape, capable? Why are you going to eat more? Why are you going to get taller, right? Physical activity forces you to get these things so that way you can gain those values, right? But when you're always constantly pushed for money, you're not. So yes,
you don't focus on the other aspects and traits.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
So.
Good. I think that's it, right?
Nice. All right, so we're winding down, guys. Hey, if you guys have any comments or questions, please send them in. We're going to react to the last few comments here, or questions. Okay.
Okay, we have technical stuff, so just wait.
Yeah. I did want to say something about kind of that whole getting better than other ethnicities, right, honey? Because, guys, until you guys have to look at the value system, like our value system. You cannot look at it from such a singular value, right? Like you can't say, oh my God, I might be 5'6", but I make $3 million a year. Women don't care about that. Like how many times have you seen videos like of these shows where they ask women like, how much money do you want a man to make? And like, how much money do you think a man needs to make for you, to provide for 3 kids, have a nice house, take you on? These women don't have a concept of what money is, right? They just hear things like $1 million, $6 million. They just throw it out there like there's like no concept of money, right? This is the woman's on average, this is what their process is. Men have to understand these things. They have to understand, okay, how much is my mortgage, right? How much is my car payment? How much is my insurance, my phone bill, right? How much is our food bill every freaking month? Okay, if I have to pay for each kid to go to school, how much their sports, right? How much is this? Okay, and then our water bill, our sewer bill. Like, we have to calculate and add up all the things. Shit, I make a fucking list every month of what our monthly bills are, and then I have to calculate how much money I make, right? And so that way, it's a budgeting, right? Men understand these things. Otherwise, we're not going to make it, right? And so my point is, guys, you have to look at our value as a totality. And that's what women are looking at as far as well, right? Yeah. Yes. Can you entice some of them by just having a singular value? Okay. Like maybe you're a super tall Chad that's like 6'3" and super handsome. Yeah, you can get these women to fall for you. But at a certain point, they're going to be like, okay, well, hey, where's your money? Yeah. Can you buy, pay for my apartment? Can you buy me a car?
you at a certain point. Even the
Correct.
woman that provides for these guys.
Correct.
Like,
It's
okay,
only
you better
it's only
get your butt up.
it's only
and
so
do
long,
something.
right? Okay, so we got our comments are working, guys. Thanks for your patience. This one is from at Michael Cluverius 1296. He states the more westernized a nation and access to social media, the women get around. Low. I live in Texas, and it's normal for women to have 20 to 50 bodies by 21. A lot of these girls are hitting the 50 mark or higher right out of high school. Low. Hey, Michael, you are stating something that I 100% think is the fact. I think the modern woman has double digit 20, 30, 50 body count on average. I would love to see the stat on this if somehow we could be truthful. Like, I don't think women will ever be truthful about this, but I would love to see what the stats are. But I think this is the other thing that men need to waken their eyes to. And especially my Asian brothers, because you think our Asian sisters are these like naive, like, oh my God, they're so, just kind of like sheltered. They're so feminine. They're so traditional. And they act the part, guys. But these women, like that last video my wife was talking about, we're not saying all, but I think the average is starting to go up, right? Let's be honest, guys. Hey, let's be honest with ourselves. As men, we prefer to have a virgin. Let's 100%.
Or less body count.
But at the end of the day, too, we would prefer to have a lesser body count. And I think if I had to speak for all men, but let's say I have to speak for the majority of my Asian brothers, right? I think single digits is kind of like our maximum, right? Like you start hitting 10 or above, we're gonna be like, oh man, this is kind of like, do I really want to put a ring on this finger, right? And the reality also too is women, like my my brother at Michael Claveria says that women that are in this westernized nation with all these social medias, besides the high body count, they're also going to have these traits that are not going to make them suitable to be wives, right? They're going to be more like independent. They're going to be more wanting attention from other men, right? They're not going to be able to stay at home and be good housewives, right? Be nurturing, cook and clean, right? They're going to want to go out there and party, right? So unfortunately, besides the body count being a huge turnoff, they're also going to have all these other traits that are going to be not conducive to a relationship, right? So, but yeah, I agree with you. I think these women have way higher body counts today now than I think most men realize. And I think most men are super naive. We want to think that women are still these feminine, wife quality women because we're so desperate. Men are so desperate for sex and relationship that we will lie to ourselves and just say every woman is worth it. I can change her, even though she was a 304 in the past, right? She'll be the one for me, right? Because she's giving me sex, right?
Well, like the men always say, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, and it's a fact.
That's why we have these sayings, and this is the reason why you guys need to awaken too, right? Right? It's just the odds. One last thing before we move to another comment. It's like, guys, I'm not saying that the possibility isn't there to turn a 304 into a housewife, but what is your probability of doing that?
Very
right?
slim.
It's very slim. This is, I've said this before on our videos, this is a learning lesson for women who have made mistakes in the past, right? Who've acquired a high body count. Yes, if you can turn it around completely 180 and you can be somehow feminine and nurturing and caring for your man and be only exclusive to him, there will be a lot of high value men that would accept you. But let's be honest, most women that have these traits, they're not gonna turn around. They're gonna, they're gonna be the opposite. They're gonna be like, oh, you have to accept me for who I am, right? Like I'm the prize, I'm the boss, babe. Like you're gonna have to care. I don't care if I have to, and you can't tell me what to dress. You can't tell me to do this. They're never going to.
You see these girls do it all the time.
Yeah.
They're attracting already these stars. They're attracting these players that put a ring on their finger. And look, they were hoes.
Yeah.
Then did it last? No, it didn't last. Even when they had a child together, it still did not last because she is always, her eyes are always wandering. And you think these guys are making millions of dollars. Did it really put ball and chain on her to be like, hey, honey, you just stay home. I make millions of dollars. You don't got to do anything but look after her kids. No, these women's eyes will always wander. That's why they always say, you're not going to change.
Yeah, those women are super addicted to just attention. They're never going to change them.
So that's not going to work out.
All right, next one. At Katie's Child Meyer KS Apparel DE. Wow, that's a long name.
241.
It says by 9 is a female average for puberty, but mentally we need to be better about teaching value and self-worth. Okay, this is where I was stating that, on average, females, hit their obviously their menstrual cycle by the time they turn 15 and that type of stuff. So she's just saying that they do it younger. That's actually correct, but not correct.
Not everybody.
Right? So on average, it's typically older, right? 13 to 15.
So that's
but there are some exceptions to the norm where, yes, by 9, you're hitting puberty. That still doesn't change the fact that my point that I was trying to say is that women start hitting this age where they actually can have kids at a very young age. Now, and it doesn't matter. My point is, it doesn't matter that we've indoctrinated ourselves to believe that 18 is the cutoff. Our biology still states that women at a certain age can actually reproduce, right?
They can reproduce, honey, but you got to be clear. Well, there's a doctor's thing and there's a fact. If women, say about 16, say 15 or less, have child, well, it actually ruins their body, and they have the smell or discharge. It actually it's not preferable.
I get it.
Under 16.
I get it. It's not
their body is not fully.
I'm not talking about preferable. I'm just saying the reality that it's a possibility, right? So I get it. Even though we have indoctrinated ourselves to believe that 18 is the adult age, our biology states otherwise. That's all I was making up. I wasn't stating a moral issue or a right or wrong issue, right? It's just the truth. And so, yes, you want to say mentally we need to teach ourselves better value and self-worth. I agree with you, but you cannot change biology is all my point was, right? So you want to say because you'll see, because it's crazy, right? You'll see on these shows where women will be like, oh, you want an 18-year-old girl? You're a pedophile. It's like, what are you talking about? We've already agreed that 18-year-olds is an adult, right? And we've already know by biology that most women, on average, will have their puberty and hit their menstrual cycle by 15. Biology is still biology. When a woman is, unfortunately, at that age where they can reproduce, why would men not find them attractive, right? And so, we cannot continue lying to ourselves that a certain age is a certain age is all I'm trying to say, right? Regardless of whether it's we've taught ourselves to look at it kind of cringy or not, right? If we didn't have these matrices in place and we were living back in the old world, right? And we were just living as humans to survive as a species, you try to tell me our ancestors didn't have sex at a younger age, especially back in the day when we were only living to 40 years old, 30, right? So think about it, 16, 20, 17, that was half your age already, right?
I know, and then most of those women died. Most of those women had complications because back then they didn't study the human body and all that stuff.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well,
some survive. We can't say all.
Yeah, but let's be honest though. Let's be honest though too.
Issues.
Without our modern medicine today, even a lot of women that are in the right age would be dying, right? Without modern medical science right now, a lot of women that just even have if they're 25, 28, I guarantee you there will be a lot more deaths during pregnancy because of, not having the right medical attention, right? I mean,
okay, let's go on.
Right? How many women have to go through C-sections? You think back in the day, if we didn't have a way to, sew you back up, you think you'd survive a C-section? Yeah. Come on, man. So, like I said, let's live in reality is all I'm trying to say, right?
Yep.
This is the last comment. All right, a few comments. Awesome. At Yellow Joe 2000 says, well done. Western Asian women got so much Asian self-hate. Then Asian dudes are not stepping up their game and value either. This combination is horrible for the Western Asian dude. At Alan Adeline says, this totally makes sense. This happened to many of my Asian guy friends. At Alan Andelin says again, nice shout out to Fresh and Fit. I would love to see you guys on Fresh and Fit.
We'd love you.
I would love to be on that show too.
Come in contact with us.
At Paul Kendall 1 says, I am a black man. I just found your channel. I like it. Thanks, at Paul.
Thank you.
Well done for the shout out to Fresh and Fit. Their message applies to all men of all races. 100%. Okay, so honey, what do you think about those last comments, honey?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so what I really loved about Fresh and Fit, and shout out
Mm-hmm.
to those guys and Kevin Samuels too, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I've stated this on one of our very
And
first
Roland
videos.
Demasi and
Yeah,
yeah,
but specifically those
Kevin.
two
Yeah,
guys, right? At
Kevin.
Kevin Samuels and that Fresh and Fit, right?
Rest in
I
peace, Kevin.
stated, yeah, rest in peace, R.I.P. to the Godfather, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I stated this on one of our very first videos, honey. Like, as a Gen Xer and as an older guy that's very traditional,
Yep.
and as a guy that didn't really put it all together yet as far as the truth and RP, I was already like looking at the world and be like, what the hell is going on with the world, right? We're teaching all these people this ideology, like body count doesn't matter, 50-50, like body positivity. I was like, what the hell is going on with the world?
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, guys, I was really becoming disillusioned with the Western ideology.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I told you, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to live in America for a lot
Yeah.
longer, right? Like, I would
Mm-hmm.
rather go retire in some other country or just like, go out. Like, I understand why people want to go out in the middle of the woods somewhere and just live
Not worry.
and live away from people
But we
because,
couldn't live that way. we
but,
couldn't do
our kids, right? You can't just live like that and expect to raise kids properly, right? But, anyways, if it wasn't for channels like at Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels, like starting to speak the truth, even though their truth was a little bit not
deflated a
complete,
bit, yeah.
not 100% complete,
Mhm.
it brought me hope that, oh my God, there are actually people, men, speaking out about this,
Yep.
right? And so it inspired me to want to speak out about it as well, right? So even though I understood and kind of had this self ideology, just to see that these channels and these guys were starting to talk about it, it was really good to see, right? And so yes, I would love to be on their channel because one thing I think that you and I, honey, and that our channel can bring to that space is the marriage aspect of it,
Yes.
right? Is showing that there needs to be a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Fresh and Fit, I think Fresh and Fit totally gets the purpose. I think they understand that the purpose is to eventually have the truth, right? Have a wife, have kids, right? But they obviously don't focus on it because that's not their current reality, right? Well, no, it's not they're dissing the women. It's just that that's not their current reality. They're young guys. They're not focused on getting a family and kids yet, right? Whereas us, we've been married for over 20 years. We have kids and family. We're living it. We're pursuing this truth, right? And so for us, I think we would be able to give them that insight, like, hey, guys, what you guys are teaching is correct. It will lead to the best possible outcome for the truth. But there are some other factors to consider, right?
You need men and women value
Correct.
together.
You need to
so
understand that this needs to have this purpose and this continuous purpose because without it, your values are meaningless.
Yeah.
Your pursuit of these values that Fresh and Fit are trying to self-improve men are meaningless.
Yeah.
Right? It really is. Okay.
Because why do you think these men are being you have to improve? Because you're trying to attract the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing for? What, are you going to attract the other men? No, you want to attract the opposite sex to get the truth, which is the outcome.
My point is these brothers are on the right path. It's just that because they haven't gotten it themselves, they don't understand that completion yet. Not to say that they won't, guys. Not to say that they don't, but they will. I 100% they will. But my point is at least we can give them kind of a perspective, like as living now on it, right? Okay.
So Fresh and Fit, give us a shout out.
Yeah, I would love to talk. I would even love to debate some of these other guys that you debate on because a lot of the debates, guys, a lot of these debates where they talk about why can high value men cheat and women can't, right? Or why, I know sometimes they debate about like why women and men are different or things like that. A lot of these questions, can be answered when you just look at it from the perspective of the truth. When you always focus on that purpose of kids and having your best outcome for your kids, all these questions will answer itself, right? For example, I'll give you a prime example, right? Why, as a high value man, would you might not want to cheat on your wife, right? Even though you're capable of, and even though like you have other women that's obviously going to want you because you're a high value man and you have the money and the resources to do it, why would as a high value man you might not want to do it? Well, because you're going to spend those resources and your time on these other women instead of your kids. And I hate to say it, guys, but we only have so much time and effort during the day, right? Like, for example, I'll give you guys a prime example, right? Our kids. They're constantly at school. They're constantly at practice.
Sports, yeah.
They constantly need attention, right? We need to feed them. We need to make sure they're on the right path to become successful men and women when they get older, right? So that way they can pursue the truth, right? If you're constantly just going around sleeping with other women, regardless of whether you're committing to them or not, can you truthfully say that you have enough time to spend time on your children to get them better?
And
right?
They always say there's not that much time in a day.
Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have enough money where you can do it, that's why only this only applies to really the top percentage of men, right? Because when you have a plane that you can drive around, right? You can just take wherever you want to go. When you have cooks and and cleaners and maids and all these things that you can, drivers and all these things that you can hire someone to do, you can have all that time to do that, right? If I didn't have to cook for my kids, I just say, hey, butler, go make us food. And while the butler's making food,
but then they also have the resource.
That's my point. So this only applies, but when you're just an average high value guy and you have to work 10, 15 hours a day to make a living for how are you going to freaking spend that other time, right? But if you're just sitting at home all day and you say, hey, butler, go make me food, and I can talk to my kids about showing them how to live life and all that stuff, and I can have practice with them, you have more time. That would work out. But let's be honest, how many guys can actually pull that off, right? But the point is, you still technically can if you get to that value, right? And so that's the perspective that I and my wife would bring to that space, table. Right? Because that's what it would do. Okay,
I think that was the last one.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, I'm glad that some of you guys are starting to get it out there, because guys, our Asian brothers are the ones, the ethnicity when it comes to men that are the most behind, right? We are the most behind, right? We are so if we want to improve our outcomes, we need to wake up, we need to get better, and then we need to get our options up. Okay, guys? Hey guys, thank you so much for joining for a live. Like I said, we're going to have another live soon where we'll have that guest back on this show, and we'll go over some ways that we can help you guys self-improve out there. And of course, guys, please continue to comment and ask questions, and then we'll react to it. We're thinking in the future, I think it's a great idea. One of our producers came up with it, is to have shorts in the future where we will answer your guys' questions and comments. So this way we can get to them faster. That way we can get you guys, your questions answered sooner.
So catch our shorts.
Yeah, so watch our shorts, guys, and let us know what you guys think about the content. All right.
Will do.
Have a great night.
You.
Thanks,
Bye.
you guys.